Hello one and all, this is Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. This time around, Wolfenstein Youngblood for the PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Wolfenstein Youngblood sees the player taking control of BJ Blazkowicz's twin daughters, Jessie and Sophie, to save their dad, who is apparently gone off the radar, either been captured or is fighting more Nazis. Wolfenstein Youngblood feels and plays very much like the new Colossus when it comes to gunplay. The Twitch gunplay that has been synonymous with the Wolfenstein franchise returns here. There aren't the biggest amount of guns, but all of them are very useful, be it a silenced pistol or a good old-fashioned shotgun. And then there are the more experimental weapons that are usually unlocked via story missions and will unlock different doors. The AI is pretty similar to what is seen in the new Colossus. Most of it is dumb and deadpan, but they do pose a mounting threat, especially in greater numbers. And there is also a new implementation that I'll talk about a little bit later that makes them even more fearsome, but for all the wrong reasons. The characters themselves, Jessie and Sophie, depending on who you play as, are pretty much female frat boys. They have weird laughs together, they fist bump all the time, they always shout obscenities to each other in celebration of killing an enemy. They really have no depth, and nor does the story. But don't worry, you will not be alone in experiencing the fun that is the gunplay and the actual gameplay of Wolfenstein Youngblood and the rather mundane and almost non-existent story, because unlike every Wolfenstein before it, Youngblood is a co-op game. Now, if you have a friend, you can join a game, get together, and play through the entirety together. If you don't, there is an AI ally that will be assigned to the character that you did not pick. The AI ally is most of the time really good. Does a great job in firefights, but it's terrible at being stealthy. And most importantly, since this is a co-op game, the sisters have a shared live system. As you progress through the game and go through various areas, you can unlock a box together that will retrieve a shared life, having up to 3 shared lives at a time. If your character or your ally falls in battle, you can run over, or they can run over and resurrect you. But if both of you fall, you will lose a shared life. And of course, if you do not have any shared lives, it is game over. And that also ties into another mechanic in the game that is done incredibly poorly. When actually playing with a human, it is really good. It's a very good jump in, jump out feature that shockingly allows the player, if they go back to single player, to actually have their progress saved. So you can play with a friend and not have to worry about having to redo an entire mission if you've already done it with that friend. There's also a buddy pass, which means that if you have a friend who got the deluxe edition or bought the buddy pass, you do not have to buy the game. They can share play with you, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. There are also upgrades, be it skill points that can be spent to buy better skills, of course. There are gun upgrade options. This game has a XP system that allows both the character and the enemies to level up. And unfortunately, there are certain sections in this pseudo-open world, the semi-open world, where enemies are overleveled. So even though the developers have said that you can go anywhere and take on the missions at any time in any way that you want to, that is not feasible. Because if you go into an area, such as the Brother 2 complex, to enter that area, you have to take on a gigantic mech that will most likely, by the time you get there, will be incredibly deadly, that can one-shot you with no problems. And that is very upsetting, because no Wolfenstein before has had a leveling system that really has hindered the player. It doesn't matter if you have the best weapons, it doesn't matter if you have the best strategies, it doesn't matter if you have the best teammate. If you are not up to level, you will die. This leveling system is made even more cumbersome because of the fact that certain enemies, especially some of the bigger ones, can only be really damaged by certain weapons. So you have to pay attention to every weapon that you utilize, and sometimes the weapon that is most effective may not even be in your inventory just yet. Honestly, if that was the only limitation when it came to enemies and there was no leveling system, I would be perfectly fine with that. That would actually add a great level of depth to the overall gameplay without necessarily hampering the player's experience. Another issue with the gameplay is stealth. Stealth does not work as effectively as one would want in this game. There is a cloaking ability that is set on a timer that does help most of the time, but there will be times when your partner, be it a human or an AI ally, will alert an enemy, and then of course you're off to the races again with another firefight. The way the world is designed usually makes it kind of hard to pull off a stealth run. This is all made even worse with the checkpoint system. Even though it gives you the belief that after each major section, usually opening a door alongside your sister, there is a cassette tape icon that appears at the top of the screen to make you believe that the game is saving at its checkpoint because there is no hard save ability. And unfortunately, that's not the case. Going back to the Brother 2 section, made it to the boss, died during the boss battle, and of course it sends me back all the way to the beginning of the section. This is made worse by the fact that once you die, whatever you have in terms of inventory, be it ammo or health, that's what you're given when you come back. It does not do a hard save or even a soft save to help the gamer get back to where they were before the epic boss battle or the epic firefight that put them down. There's also the mission structure. The main missions are relatively short, and the game is padded with side missions that are usually rudimentary fetch missions or fetch quests. The characters that you get these side missions from usually are very bland and uninteresting, and the side missions themselves are usually bland and uninteresting. Overall, this is a solid rental, and that's it. I would not, even at $30, really suggest anyone to buy this. If you're not one of those people that wants to actually spend a little bit of money to play a relatively short and mediocre shooter, I say wait. Because I guarantee you this will be one of those games that in a few short months will end up as a PlayStation Plus or an Xbox Games for Gold offering. So there you have it. This has been Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. Wolfenstein Youngblood for the PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Now if you don't mind, I'm going to try to reload this terrible checkpoint to finish this area that I got cheated out of the last time because my ally didn't want to help me or was too stupid to get out of the way of fire or bullets or rockets or anything else that is harmful to their health. And if I lose again, I swear I will have no choice but to shout, "Oh Lordy!"